So I have what is really not good news about the show, and this has nothing to do with the YouTube advertiser boycott, although the timing of it is not ideal. You'll remember that at the beginning of April, the YouTube advertiser boycott started, and this caused a huge reduction in our YouTube ad revenue. And that in and of itself made some news. In fact, the New York Times wrote an article about what was happening with our YouTube channel. Amanda Hess wrote this article, How YouTube's Shifting Algorithms Hurt Independent Media, several months ago. There was a follow-up article about the David Pakman Show YouTube channel from Wired Magazine, where Davey Alba followed up by writing another really well-researched article. And we started crawling out of this using both membership and Patreon, and revenue on YouTube started to recover. We have a revenue graph that we're showing our television audience, and where we started the year very strong and then completely fell off a cliff. It looked like around 0.3 on this graph, revenue was starting to recover. And then at the beginning of July, at the end of this graph, it fell off a cliff. So we've been talking about membership, we've been talking about Patreon, and now we are under threat of lawsuit. I could tell you everything about this, but sort of out of respect and an effort to resolve this without it escalating to an actual lawsuit, I'm going to sort of give you the basics of what's going on. And hopefully at some point, once this is done, or if and when we are actually sued, I will go fully public on the details. There's this thing called patent trolling, and there's a similar cousin to it called copyright trolling. The bottom line is that we have received a demand letter alleging that we have infringed on someone's copyright. This relates to an image or video that was used on the program at some point over the last several years. And I know I'm being deliberately vague, and it's again because I'm hoping that we can resolve this without it going to some kind of actual lawsuit or trial. But we have received a letter demanding many, many thousands of dollars. And I have spoken with a number of different people who have been subjected to the same types of demand letters. And the bottom line is, and I've been super transparent with the law firm that is threatening the lawsuit if we can't come up with these many, many thousands of dollars. I've said, listen, we don't have the money to settle this thing and to pay off your demand letter. And if we did, we'd have hired an attorney so that you could be talking to the attorney instead of talking to me, who's not an attorney and doesn't really know what's going on. And the bottom line is that we, if you sue us, we're also not going to all of a sudden have money to start paying thousands and thousands of dollars plus attorney's fees and possible damages. So what I'm coming to you with in the audience is, if there's an attorney in our audience who handles intellectual property and might help us out pro bono with this, please get in touch, because I'm basically taking the approach of, we do not believe that we did anything wrong. Our policy is not to violate copyright. We are a program that is out there serving non-commercial interests on non-commercial radio and television stations. We don't have the money to pay off such a demand letter. But really, if we had an attorney who actually is a US-based attorney specializing in intellectual property, it would really be useful if you could get in touch. And if you're not an attorney, this would be, once again, a really great time to consider making a financial contribution to the show, because between the advertiser boycott and now the potential lawsuit, demand for money and or legal fees that we could end up having to pay here, we do need whatever support we can gather from the audience. So number one, membership is available. You go to davidpakman.com/membership. Membership start at only $6 a month or $60 for the year. If you want a discount off of those prices, you can use the coupon code IVoted17. It'll save you 40%. Still benefits the show significantly. You'll get all the same member benefits. And you can also just throw in a couple of bucks via Patreon at patreon.com/David Pakman Show. Even as little as $1 a month does help. So you can check that out. That's the latest. I hope it does not escalate to a lawsuit, because we are not equipped right now to deal with, in addition to the YouTube ad boycott, a federal copyright lawsuit, which is what is being threatened here. But that's where we are, and we're going to do the best we can. And if you are an intellectual property attorney who might be able to lend some legal help pro bono, ideally take over this thing and hopefully help us resolve it, please get in touch through our website contact form.